Hey guys, it's Kelly. I am back with another process video. I am up with Jen Stokes today and we are scrap lifting a layout or a style by Missy Whidden. And the mood board I forgot to put up a picture of, but I will tell you now that the colors I just was fighting with quite a bit. So what I took off the mood board this week was the silver bling that was added, and there was also a picture of silver ball ornaments, and I used that as well. So what I did is I matted these two pictures of my daughter when she lost a tooth. I think these are like 2007. I'm not sure quite the date. And I printed them a little bit smaller, and I probably should have done them in black and white, but sometimes, when they're little, I like having that little pop of color. And so what I am using for this is the hip kit. That was the November kit. And I tried working some with the black, white, and the red, and I didn't want to have to print the pictures again, but I really wanted to scrapbook these pictures. And I just thought I'm going to go with using the silver as the main focus. And I also wanted to go with these papers because Missy has a very colorful style. She's very bold in what she does, and her pages are just exquisite. So I wanted to use some of these bolder patterns. That triangle paper in the background is definitely one of them, and just wanted to see where this would take me. So I had also pulled out a couple of things that I had in my stash, like this freckled fawn clip that I want to use, and it says joy. And when I was looking at some of Missy's layouts, I ended up not going with a particular one per se in what I did with the page, but what I did completely lift was her spelling of Chrithmuth. When they lose their teeth and their two front teeth and they lisp and they're so dang cute. When I saw that she had spelled it like that, I'd actually already printed out these pictures to scrapbook. And when I saw her layout, I thought, well, there you go. It takes away that thinking. And I was pretty sure at that point that I wanted to say all I want for Christmas is my two front teeth. But her spelling of it was just absolutely adorable. So that was another thing that I just lifted from her. And one of the other things she does a lot that I like, occasionally on some layouts, she'll do a pretty big title, and she also does a lot of mixing in different letter stickers or cuts with her titles. And I like to jazz mine up as well. So this big title on the side of the page is something that I felt like she would have done as well. Now, I do want to warn you that the title that you see me doing right now does change. I let it sit over a period of time, and I just decided that the two front teeth was not prominent enough, and I really thought that needed to have a bigger feel, a bigger weight on the page. So you'll see that I pull out, well, I actually, you won't see, that's the thing, I didn't video it because, a lot of times what'll happen is I'll be looking at my layout, I've got the video processing, and then I'm like, oh, dang it, I think this would look better, or, this would definitely look better. So I'm just going to apologize for that, but I have close-ups at the end that you can see what I did. So in the kit came this silver paint dauber, and I knew that I wanted to use that, and I also had the stencil that had, I guess it's like for snow falling, and I thought that would be good to use, I guess more like just behind the photo, behind the layers. And I will have to say that I kind of went overboard on it, and I wish I had scaled it back a little bit, but it's done, and oh well. So what I was trying to do is get it to be a little bit more silver color. And you know, when you mix silver and white, it becomes gray. And so I added a little shimmer mist, and that just made it kind of sparkly gray. So I pulled out some of this Martha Stewart glitter, and that gave it a definite sparkle, and it also deepened the color. So it was definitely more like a silver. And you know, sometimes just having fun and playing with your supplies is just, you know, you can't take that away. That was just like art playtime for me. So here is where I start putting the you know, texture paste down. And you know, I guess the only thing I wish I could have fixed is there's definitely some harsher angles with that, I guess because of the size, and I'm trying to get it all done and get it down because, you know, I needed the video to process, and it's hard to, I guess, get them to where they didn't look quite so, what am I trying to say? You know, I guess uniform. I wanted them to, you know, be coming out from the picture, and then I guess, you know, like not having definite spots. You can see where I'm trying to cover a hole by adding in a couple more of them. I didn't want any more of the heaviness, and I probably should have used more of that lighter feeling. Lighter feeling, the fewer holes to give more of a lighter feeling behind the photos. This is a little bit busier than what I had in mind, and I should have like stopped, but then, you know, once you start, sometimes you just can't stop. And I just decided, you know, the heck with it. It's not quite 100% my style, but sometimes doing things a little bit different makes it fun and keeps you on your toes. So another thing that Missy does quite a bit is uses vellum as one of her layers. And I also will do that quite a bit. And I love using a different texture. It softened up the busyness of that background triangle paper a little bit. And it also just brought another visually appealing layer for me. I like looking at layouts and then going back and looking at layouts and finding things that I didn't see necessarily the first time. And I find that I can do that even with more simple layouts. Because for me, you know, my eye first sees something, and then when I go back and look, I see different things that I didn't see the first time. And you know, to me, that's what makes it so neat. And so with this one, you definitely have a lot to take in. So I'm trying to get my pictures, you know, exactly where I want them. This is crazy, you know, just put it down and be done with it. And I did put it up on foam tape, and I didn't take off all of the sticky backs on the foam tape. I just didn't find that it needed to be. I just want to make sure that the photos don't sag down in the middle. So I am using some of these Pink Fresh Studio die cuts, and I figured what better time to use a penguin with balloons than when you lose your front teeth, and thought he was a really cute addition. And he was looking the right way for that embellishment cluster that I wanted to do on the bottom. Missy is able to incorporate lots of fun die cuts on her pages, so I felt like this was also just a little another way that I could be lifting her as well. I really like the Pink Fresh Studio die cuts and the papers. The blue and white striped background is a Pink Fresh Studio paper as well. I did struggle a little bit using it, and I don't know why. The colors are definitely colors that I would use and pick out by myself. I don't know if it was just the little figurines, well, you know, some of the cute characters of the die cuts, or, you know, what it was. But the more I looked at it, the more I really liked the collection. And at this point, I actually love the collection. I think it is so neat, and it's, you know, definitely one of the different collections. And sometimes that's what I want, is something that's different and not the same as other things that I have in my stash. So this definitely fit that bill. It's just, for whatever reason, something that's a little bit more difficult for me to use. So here's where I am putting down the title, and I wanted the two front teeth. I wanted the glitter and that silver sparkle again throughout the page, and it just ends up being too small, like I mentioned before. And how I fix it, I pull out some thickers. I think they are Studio Calico Brighton Pier, and if you remember, or you know, when you look in the close-ups at the end, they're big, chunky silver letters, and they have like a little bit of a circle indentation on them, and it just brought more bang that was needed on the page. So I used that for front, and then for teeth I brought in more of those aqua green, or I guess whatever color you want to call those thickers, not thickers, letter stickers that I'm using right now by Pink Fresh. I adore this alphabet, and I think it's perfect, you know, for this page, because, you know, 6 or 7 year old, when they're writing, you know how their letters go all over the place, and I just thought it was a cute nod to, you know, losing her teeth. So this is pretty much going to be it for my page, and I want to thank you for hanging out with me today, and take a look at some of Missy's stuff. She has some brilliant pages, and if you haven't checked out Jen's layout, she has one as well with that was inspired by Missy as well. And I do have some close-ups at the end, and that's where you can see the corrected title. So thanks so much, guys. Have a great day. Bye.